Okay, so our shot clock's winding down, but I want to ask a question that is Michigan-centric. And the reason I'm asking it is all of you, obviously I do too, have ties to the state of Michigan. So Sara, you got your degrees, your graduate degrees from University of Michigan. Bryan, you grew up in Michigan. And Mark, you're Michigan through and through. You grew up in Michigan and got all your degrees from University of Michigan. And yet, none of you have developed your companies in Michigan. So as somebody who cares deeply about the community, and I know all of you do as well, what would it take to have the next Skyryse or the next Argo or the next Swarm develop in the state of Michigan? And any of you can lead with this.
So I actually met my co-founder at Michigan, and we started talking about ideas like this. So maybe Swarm was born in Michigan, but grew up in Silicon Valley.
Right.
I think a lot of the kind of, being very hardworking, being pretty academic given our backgrounds, and a lot of our values certainly have propagated through our company. So I think we bring a little bit of that with us, or a big part of that with us. Silicon Valley is becoming a difficult place to grow a company. The cost of living, the inability to hire software engineers, if you know any, send them my way. I think we're starting to open up satellite offices. So we opened our first one in DC, given the government and regulation stuff there. But I think it makes a lot of sense for a place to have additional offices as we expand. I think having a bigger venture community there and partnership opportunities certainly would help. I think one of the biggest reasons we're in the Bay Area is for fundraising.
Sure.
But yeah, I think we'd be open to expansion, and I think that would really help kind of enable, especially all that talent coming out of the universities there.
Yeah. Does it make sense to you, Mark?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I just add one thing, which is, it's something like 26 years of my life were spent with 4 months of every year in the snow. So I say I actually miss it now. But when you think about autonomous vehicles, at least where the technology lies today, it's a lot easier to be starting in fair weather. So going to Michigan as a second place is a good challenge.
Fair enough. Thanks. Right.
So I have to say that we have a vibrant office in Allen Park, Michigan, with actually a huge variation of disciplines. We've got mechanical engineers, embedded software engineers. In fact, our part of our perception team is out there, and some of the hardest to find people with that type of skill set, and they do a great job every day. We are testing and starting to grow in East Detroit and around the Corktown area where the train station is. We do have a center that is slowly expanding in that area. Look, Michigan is not known to have the density of the software talent that the Bay Area might have or does have. But I will say that we've more and more often been able to get people, once they, especially since we have a dispersed footprint, people come to Pittsburgh, people come to our Detroit office, and they say, man, the fact I could have a 4-car garage for a fraction of what I pay, people gets them thinking. So
Bryan, in your world,
that's a plug for Michigan.
A 4-car garage, right?
That's exactly right. Yeah, but I mean, it's a huge plug for Michigan, right? And we've actually seen and been more successful in the last 2 years than I've seen in the last 10 in my career. I've seen people migrate now to places like Michigan. And because the cost of living is so much less absurd, there's folks in the Bay Area that cash out equity that are in public traded companies just to be able to pay a mortgage, and it's just I was grown up to say that's your retirement, so I don't. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but that's the fact that we can provide employees choice. Lets them figure out what suits their lifestyle. But I think Michigan's a fantastic place.